Mm, no.
Okay. Welcome to the September 24th board meeting for Robla Elementary School District. I call this meeting to order. And if you all will join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, then we'll get going. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United
States of America
and to the
and the republic
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Our next, I should call roll. Are accounted for, with the exception of Trustee Howard. And I understand that we have an adjustment to the agenda. Is that true?
Yes, we are going to need to pull the summer school Freedom School report tonight. Mr. Roberts and staff were not able to put that together quite yet. So we will bring that forth at a meeting next month.
Okay, so with that change, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. The agenda has been adopted. Moving on to the public comment section. Individuals wishing to address the board on any non-agenda items which are of interest to the public and within the board's jurisdiction may do so during this time. The board may not act upon items presented during public comment, but may briefly respond to statements made, ask a clarifying question, or refer speakers to district staff or other resources. And since we are doing this via Zoom, public comment section is on YouTube, and you can type your requests in there, and we will go ahead and read them. So we will wait for a few seconds to see if any comments have been entered.
You know, it looks like Nubia's having trouble hearing there. I saw her motion that you can't hear.
You can't hear. He said he's motion. You can't hear. Can you hear now? All right. Can you hear?
Can you hear now?
Okay, hold on.
Do it a few more. In the YouTube channel. So we will move on to section 3, presentations. And our first and only presentation of the night is the unaudited actuals for the 2019-20 report. So take it away.
And we have Gerardo Castillo here, our CBO. We'll be doing this presentation tonight. Welcome, Mr. Castillo.
Good evening, President Barnes, board members, and superintendent. We are presenting. Can you hear me okay before I keep going? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Can you do it? Yes, okay. So we are presenting the 2019-20 unaudited actuals, keeping in mind. Oh, why does I tried this before again? Could you see the presentation?
Not yet.
You cannot see it.
No.
You see it now?
No, not yet.
How about now?
No.
No.
I try, but I did not try with I did, but let me go back again. So maybe that's what I didn't do that. How about now?
Here it comes. There you go. Very good.
Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So, okay, everybody see it? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Good evening, President Barnes, board members, and Superintendent Reyes. We are presenting the 2019-20 analytical actions, keeping in mind our vision statement. Every student reaches their potential in a growth-minded environment, rich in challenging practice, and reflect their learning for all. Our books are closed for fiscal year 2019-20. About 4 times during the year, we present budget information. This evening, we are presenting the narrative actions for 2019-20. There are no projections, but are actual statements from July 1, 2019 to June 30, 2020. Our presentation is a summary of the 150 pages they are in your report. They are in the Word package. We will review education 42-100. That is the main reason we are doing the presentation tonight. We will discuss the key components that are in the narrative actions. We will review in detail all the revenues and expenses in the general fund. We will review the activity that is in the general fund. We will discuss the fund balance of all the funds. We will also discuss our cash balance, our latest cash balance. And we will looking forward for our next steps. And of course, there will be opportunity for ask questions. Education 42-100 requires the school districts close their books in the forms provided by the California Department of Education by September 15 and be submitted to the County Office of Education. We send the narrative actions to SCOE, Sacramento County Office of Education, on September 11, 2020. They also require that the board approves the narrative actions in a public meeting. The key components of the narrative actions are the average daily attendance. Our average daily attendance was about 1,967. And due to COVID-19, it was calculated as of February 28, 20. This is the last school month prior to closing due to COVID-19. Constructions at Robla Elementary, Bell Avenue, and the admin building are also a key components as we spend over $4.5 million, and we will discuss later on in our presentation. I don't have to tell you about this. COVID-19 was a key component as we had to learn to do things differently. Significant expenditures were incurred due to COVID-19, and the community and the staff stepped forward to help. The Education Protection Account, also known as Proposition 30, that it was passed by the voters on November 6, 2012. They approved sales tax and personal income taxes for the taxpayers in high tax brackets. All the revenues that we'll receive due to Proposition 30 were spent on salaries for teachers as required by the Proposition 30. These revenues are part of the local control funding formula, but we are required to track it separately. The general fund is divided into unrestricted and restricted funds. We will present tonight the unrestricted portion and then the combined unrestricted, and restricted. The California School Accounting Manual defines unrestricted as those funds whose uses are subject to who are not subject to external or legal constraints. It may be used for any purposes not prohibited by the law. And they define restricted are those funds from revenues whose sources are subject to constraints imposed by external resources or provided by law. Local control funding formula is always unrestricted. Federal revenue is always restricted. However, other state revenues and local control revenue, they are both unrestricted and restricted. And that's why this makes it complicated. So out of the unrestricted fund, 96% is due to the local control funding formula and is due to the average daily attendance that we discussed previously. 2% are other state revenues, such as unrestricted lottery. Local revenue is 2%, is mostly they are interest and donations. Federal revenues is not included in this pie chart, so just 96 plus 4 is 100% because it's always restricted. So now let's talk about combining, unrestricted and restricted. 80% of our local control funding formula now is the pie is, instead of being 96, now it's 80%. Our federal revenues is 6%, and this includes Title I, Title II, Title III, and also some special education funds. Other state revenues include lottery and special ed. And the local revenues includes local grants and in interest. So just like the revenue sections, the general fund expenditures are also separated into unrestricted and restricted. The majority, or equivalent to 89% of the expenditures, certificated salaries plus classified plus benefits, are for salaries and benefits. We are a people business. We have about 10% in other operating expenditures that includes all utilities, leases, and contracts. I want to touch bases a little bit about this negative 2%. That is due to the indirect costs that we charge to the other restricted programs and other funds, such as child development and nutrition services. So now if we combine our unrestricted and restricted expenditures, 85% of our expenditures is for salaries and benefits. We have 5% in books and supplies. These items includes any item that costs us less than $5,000. That's how the California School Board defines books and supplies. So we buy tires for our boxes. They are in this pie chart. And then we have 11% in other operating expenditures for contracts and majorities related to special ed and includes utilities. And we have a minus negative 1% because that's the indirect cost that we charge to our other programs. We have several programs that cannot be self-supported, and the general fund unrestricted contributes to these programs. For instance, we don't receive enough money from the state or the federal to cover our special education costs, and the unrestricted portion contributes almost $2 million to a special ed. We also have the restricted maintenance account, almost $800,000. We are required to contribute 3% of our general fund to maintain our facilities, for this is part of the deferred maintenance. So we contribute a total from the general unrestricted to restricted programs, a total of $3.1 million. Remember this number, $3.1 million. We will see it again in the next slide. This is slide 11. It's a summary of all the activities that happened during the year for the general fund. It's actually a summary of 14 pages that are included in the board packages, that are summarized on this slide. So our total revenues, we received 27.7 million. Our total expenditures were 26.4 for a net increase of 1.35. We have at the beginning balance of $10.36 million, leaving us an ending balance of 11.7 million. You will notice here this line that says other sources and uses. This is the legal language that we had to use. And you will also see that $3.1 million that is contributed from the unrestricted to the restricted. So you will see, so this is in the previous slide, the $3.1 million is the detail of all the programs on that is in here. I like to call it contributions because these are programs that we want to support. Other people call it encroachment. The legal terminology is sources and uses. So that's just want to just share that a little bit. Our ending balance, besides the general fund, we have other funds. This is all the funds that we have. All of them finished with a positive fund balance. You see they're all positive. The largest decrease that I want to talk is the building fund. That's almost $4.7 million. It was due to the constructions that you are aware that we have a Bell Avenue, Robla, admin building, and some other expenditures that we finished paying for previous construction. So leaving us, we went from 46.2 to ending $41.4 million. So this is our fund balance. In normal years, we will finish our presentation with this slide on what is our fund balance, but there is nothing normal about 2020. So we want to spend a minute to discussing cash. Cash deferrals is a significant issue in the school districts across California, and I'm pretty sure you are hearing that in your circles that you get information from other districts. So I want to be clear, this is not part of the unaudited actuals, but it's information that you need to be aware. The latest month reconcile is August. So this is our cash that we have for as of August 31, 2020. Every month we are reconciling our cash. And we will include a slide like this, or a little bit different to update you in future meetings as well. So we have a cash balance as of August 31 of $10.5 million and a total of 19.7. I want to please note that cash is very different than fund balance. It's not the same. This is cash liquidity that we have available to pay expenditures. This is not our fund balance, but this is the cash that we have. So what are the next steps? COVID-19 has brought a lot of uncertainty in the school districts, and for us is how it will affect our enrollment, our ADA. Are there going to be significant cuts from the state? Are they double the cuts because they did not cut us in 2021? So there is a lot of uncertainties, but we keep current daily information. We subscribe to the school, to the state, California School Services, with the county. So we're up to date in changes and due to the COVID-19, when do we need to open schools? So there's a lot of uncertainty. We will maintain very current. Also, in October, next month, the auditors are going to spend like a week and a half with us. I still don't know they're going to be here physically, or we have to do everything online. So they will have to provide another report by December 15, 2020. So this report will be they're reviewing the numbers that we present tonight that we submitted to SCOI. And also on December 15th, we will discuss our first interim for the fiscal year 2021. And thank you for your time, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Are there any questions? Okay. Doesn't look like I have any. Thank you very much, Mr. Castillo. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You got off easy.
Thank you. Anytime. If there's any questions at any time, you know how to reach me, so we're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the report.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was an excellent report.
If you could stop sharing your screen, that'd be great. You know, this isn't a question for this specific report because this report is very specific, but you know, maybe in the future, I would love to hear kind of a summary of how COVID-19 has impacted us financially. And what I mean by that is, because this is kind of what that is, but what I mean by that is we've you know, we've had savings in some areas, we spent more in other areas. And I'd love to know the impact of that. You know, like we've had areas where we used to have busing contracts, which I'm sure we've kind of lost revenue, and we've bought a lot of equipment to be distributed. And then there are areas where I'm sure we're saving, whereas, you know, we're not using our buses as much or electricity as much. So I would really like to know a little bit more about that particular impact, if it's possible.
We could do that. Yes.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments or concerns, we'll move on to action items. And our first action item, item 4A, is to adopt the learning continuity and attendance plan. And for those who are watching online, I'll read the first sentence of this so you know a little bit more about it. The learning continuity and attendance plan seeks to address funding stability for schools while providing information at the local level for how student learning continuity will be addressed during the COVID-19 crisis in the 2020-2021 school year. So that is the motion. I'm sorry, that is the item. Is there a motion to pass?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any comments on this, Mr. Reyes? Your mic is off.
Thank you. I would just remind the board and the public that this is a new document. This is something that is a direct result of being in a global pandemic. So as we did not complete an LCAP last year, the state wanted us to be sure that we were reporting to our school communities how not only how our funding is working, but of course, how we are educating students in these new circumstances. And so this new report, our learning continuity plan, in essence replaces the LCAP in that way, although we will have to do an LCAP at the end of the school year for the upcoming school year. As the board knows, we have had community meetings related to the plan. We had a public hearing on the plan last week, and then this since that time the document has been posted on our website and has been open for public comment. And so now that we feel that we have fully vetted the document with the board and our community, we are ready to ask the board to adopt the plan formally so that we can submit it to the state of California.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Didn't quite hear everyone.
Aye.
Aye.
I heard you two. I didn't hear Nuvi. Well, I can see her. Okay. Oppose, abstentions, motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 4B, approve the 2019-20 unaudited actuals report that we just had a presentation on. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
I need a second from someone audible.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? I'll take Nuvi's visual eye as an aye. Motion carried unanimously.
That was a John McCain.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so that moves us on to item 5 of this very short board meeting, and that is board member requests for future agenda items. And we'll start with Trustee DeLuce.
Nothing to request.
Okay, Trustee Boyd.
Just keep up the good work. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Trustee Cardona. Okay, we got that. Learning sign language on the spot. And I don't have any requests except for what I've already mentioned. And if we could get that Zoom background emailed out to us, that'd be great. And
We can do that.
thank you very much. And again, I want to thank everyone who made this meeting possible. The people that you don't see, our tech person Adam Vivier, and our well, I just call her the glue that kind of holds all together, Miss Malaspine. So thank you for everyone who helps put these meetings on. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much to all of our viewers.